The streets of Raigarh were unnaturally silent that night. A light drizzle slicked the asphalt, reflecting the flickering city lights like broken glass. Ravi, a laborer with hands calloused by years of hauling heavy bricks and coarse sand, wiped sweat from his brow. His life was a relentless cycle of manual labor, poverty, and the quiet, heavy responsibility of a wife and child waiting in their small home. Across the city, Arya navigated a different world. As a junior lawyer at the Raigarh court, she spent her days filing petitions and her evenings filming legal advice videos for social media. She was the face of justice for the digital age, a woman seeking to empower others through their screens. Two people, separated by class and circumstance, were about to collide in a way that would shatter the peace of this quiet city forever. One evening, while resting his aching muscles, Ravi clicked on Arya's profile. He sent a single, hesitant message. "Hello, madam." Arya's reply was swift and kind. "Don't call me madam. Call me friend." Their digital connection deepened with terrifying speed. They traded messages until 2 in the morning, night after night. Ravi spoke of his exhaustion and the weight of a life built on stone. Arya shared the isolation of her legal career, the loneliness that often hides behind a professional smile. They fell in love through glowing screens, a bridge of words built over a chasm of secrets. Ravi felt a spark he had never known, but he chose to keep his marriage hidden in the shadows. He convinced himself that this digital dream could exist alongside his reality, unaware that a lie, once planted, only grows toward destruction. The truth eventually forced its way into the light. When Arya discovered Ravi was married, she tried to sever their ties, her heart breaking under the weight of his betrayal. But Ravi begged for mercy. "I cannot live without you," he cried. And in a moment of weakness, she relented. But the reconciliation came with a price. The pressure mounted daily as Arya demanded a final choice. "Tell the truth and be with me, or leave forever," she insisted. Fear began to consume Ravi. He was terrified of social disgrace, terrified of his family falling apart, and terrified of the crumbling reality he had constructed. He was trapped between the woman he loved and the life he had built, and the walls were closing in. He realized he could not keep both, but he was not prepared to lose everything to the truth. He invited Arya for a drive toward the dark forest outskirts of Raigarh. The trees were dense, whispering in the wind as they walked deep into the shadows. Arya spoke of their future, her voice filled with a desperate hope for a new beginning, but Ravi gripped a hidden, dark resolve. When Arya finally declared, "I will not stay silent anymore," the tension snapped like a dry branch. Ravi lunged. His hands, strengthened by years of hauling bricks, tightened around her throat. He watched the light fade from her eyes until she collapsed onto the damp earth. Driven by a frantic, animalistic need to conceal his identity, he struck her repeatedly with a heavy stone. He used a knife to ensure she would never be recognized, a brutal attempt to erase the woman he once claimed to love. He scrubbed the scene, trying to wash away the evidence of his sin before fleeing back into the night, leaving Arya alone in the cold silence of the woods. He thought he had buried his secret, but the forest remembers everything. Days later, the law found her. Police traced the digital trail straight to Ravi's door. The man who built houses was now shackled by his own deceit. Arya, who studied the law to protect others, became the final case she could never solve. In Raigarh, they still whisper of that night, a grim reminder that some paths lead only to ruin.